How's it going, folks? I'm Cody Campbell with High Ground Gaming. Today we are unboxing and reviewing the HyperX Cloud III gaming headset. I'm going to start by walking you through the specs, then I'm going to open it up, let you take a look at what comes inside. After that, we'll go to the review portion where I'll give you my thoughts on it, and then we'll go to High Ground Gaming's final score. Stick around. So there are three different types of connectivity for this headset. You can either connect it with a standard analog 3.5mm connection, or it has two digital connections, a USB Type-A and a USB Type-C connection. The speakers have 53mm drivers, a frequency response of 10 Hz to 21,000 Hz, and an impedance of 64 ohms. It has a 10mm cardioid condenser microphone that has noise canceling built in and an internal pop filter. It also gets to use DTS Headphone X spatial audio when you use it with PC. It isn't just compatible with PC though, it's also compatible with PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, Nintendo Switch, and mobile devices. That's pretty much it for the specs though. Why don't we open it up? Oh, nice presentation in the box there. Let's see what we've got underneath here. All right, we've got a quick start guide. It looks like we've got the USB Type-A adapter, the microphone, which it appears is removable. That's always a nice touch. And it looks like the USB Type-A plug is an adapter that goes onto the USB Type-C connection, so you can use that to easily switch between the two. Let's take a look at the headset itself. The microphone looks like it's pretty easy to adjust and hold its position. That's always nice. On the back here, we've got a mute button. Then on the right ear cup, it looks like this is probably a volume dial. This is a pretty good length for the 3.5 connection. Since most PC users are probably going to be using the digital connection, it makes sense that for most controller users, for consoles, you're probably going to want this to be a little shorter so that it can plug into your controller. The headset itself is this nice all black. It's very sleek looking. The frame is metal. It doesn't seem to rotate outward, but the ear cups do rotate inward. Got some adjustability on the side here. It looks like we've got some little dots on the inside there so you can measure how much you're adjusting each side to keep them even. The ear cups are memory foam coated in leatherette. This is pretty nice looking. I personally prefer leatherette. I talk about this in a lot of my headphone reviews. The mesh ones are supposed to be better for breathability, but I find them to be scratchy. I think leatherette is much softer and more comfortable on the skin. Let's try them on. They are maybe a tiny bit loose, but I feel like they're pretty comfortable on my head. I don't really feel like they're moving around too much. I will say that the braided cable, I can hear that moving on my shirt a little bit. I usually think rubber cables are a little bit better just for headsets. I like braided cables with everything else, but just headsets, I think rubber insulates that vibration a little bit better. They're very comfortable though, very, very lightweight. All right. That's about all I can tell just by looking at it though. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this into my PC. I'm gonna play some games and we'll be right back with the review portion. Don't go anywhere. So now I've spent some time with the Cloud 3s and I'm ready to talk about them. But first, like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, I'm gonna start off by talking about the build quality. First of all, I just wanna say, as I kind of mentioned before during the unboxing, these are very lightweight and very comfortable. The memory foam padding with the leatherette on the top as well as the ear cups is really nice, and the super lightweight just makes it so that they rest very easily on your head. The one sort of nitpicky criticism that I might have is that I do feel like there's maybe not quite enough clamping pressure. It's good for me, and I think it's probably be good with people with larger heads, but I think if you have a smaller head, then maybe you might not feel like they're entirely secure. Other than that, though, I think they're great. The metal frame is very stable, very secure. These cables here really don't feel like they're going anywhere. It feels like a sturdy piece of equipment. Now let's move on to audio quality. I played some Mass Effect with these and it sounded great the whole time. The sound stage sounds really open, so that it doesn't really sound like the audio is right in your ear. It sounds like it's, coming from a decent distance. There's a good balance of highs, mids, and lows. The volume is good. There's no issues with buzzing or anything like that. The directionality was really good as well. I never had any issues telling what direction audio was coming from, which is really important in games like shooters where you need to be able to detect footsteps and gunshots and all that sort of stuff. Quick disclaimer though, I did spend most of my time testing it on PC, and during that time I had the DTS Headphone X turned on, so without that the directionality might be a little bit different, but I did play on the PS5 a little bit and I didn't really have any issues when I was playing there. Now let's talk about the microphone quality. First of all, the physical quality of the microphone is really nice. It's removable, which is always handy, and the mic itself looks pretty stylish too. I like that it has an internal pop filter, so you don't have that big fuzzy thing collecting dust on the outside of the microphone. This looks sleek and it works really, really well. Here's a quick audio test. So here's a quick audio test for the HyperX Cloud III. I've already listened to it a little bit, so I do know that it does have a little bit of that tinniness that a lot of different headset mics have, but I have also noticed that it's very, very clear. When you speak very softly, it doesn't really cut out. You don't really have any issues with it dropping or cutting off quiet segments. And when you speak very loudly, it also doesn't really have any issues with peaking or with crackling or anything like that. I'm very nearly shouting right now, and it's still picking everything up pretty clearly. So overall, the quality is pretty good. I've heard headset mics that were better than this, but usually those come at a premium. This one is definitely very good for the price point. All right, now let's move on to talk about the NGENUITY software and the features that you can get with that. So here is the HyperX NGENUITY software, and as you can see, there's only a handful of features on here. You can adjust the headset volume here, the microphone volume here, and then you can turn on this mic monitoring tab if you want to be able to listen to yourself in the headset while you're recording. Here in the center, we have the tab to turn on or off the DTS Headphone X for that spatial audio if you want that in your games. And then on the right here, we have an equalizer. It comes with this bass boost preset, which you can use if you want your audio to be a little bit bassier than it is at standard. Otherwise, you can create your own presets by adjusting the range here. So you could like boost the low end or the high end or, whatever you want. The equalizer is a really nice touch, but other than that, there's not really a whole lot else to this software. Unfortunately, the software is only compatible with PC, so if you're planning on using this with a console or mobile, you're not going to have access to the DTS Headphone X or the equalizer. That's about it for the features on this guy, though. Let's get down to the verdict. So the HyperX Cloud III's MSRP at $99.99. That is pretty standard for a mid-range headset. I think that's a pretty fair price. Honestly, the biggest competition is going to come from older generation headsets that have gone down in price. The Cloud 2s, for example, are going for around $70 right now. So if you're looking for a value option, that might be the better way to go, because that $30 is probably not going to buy you a whole heck of a lot with this guy. That said, compared to other $100 wired headsets on the market right now, I think this one is looking pretty good. I think it is a solid buy. So with all that in mind, we gave this a 4.5 out of 5. Mainly deducting points for a few missing features. The software not having a whole heck of a lot going on isn't, amazing, but overall, I think it is an extremely well-constructed headset with great audio, great microphone, and just it does the basics really, really well, which I think is what you want at this price range. Why don't you go ahead and drop down into the comments and let us know what you think, though. Do you think there's a feature that this headset really needs that it doesn't have, or do you think that HyperX nailed it again here. While you're at it, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. We've got a lot more content coming real soon, and we'd hate for you to miss any of it. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Happy gaming.